this section, I want us to look at how we should optimize the quality score parameters. For optimizing the quality score parameters, remember this. Before doing anything else, we need to have completed the discussion on the basics. After that, we'll move on to the quality score. If we look closely, we see that parameters like bid and budget, which are practically placed higher, are part of the process. However, for example, let's say right now we are not using the device at all. Why is that? Because first we need to complete our optimization. Once your optimization is complete, then we can move on to other parameters. The important point is that we should first do the tasks that, as much as possible, won't cause changes in the discussion or affect the price. The point is that the changes we are making, like the quality score discussion, don't happen immediately for the quality score parameter. What does that mean? It means that the changes you make need to gather some traffic, the campaign needs to progress a bit, and only then will this traffic start to impact your quality score. The important point is that previously you might have stayed and waited on the status, but here, now you see it too. But for optimizing your parameters, I'll tell you what to do to review it. You don't want to stand on each stress point one by one to see this. One point I always tell you is not to get involved with add is in showing now right now, guys. This showing now is just a point I'll mention, and we'll delve into it more later. Initially, it's not important. Why? Because I might always check with the servers, as you are seeing here, that I have excluded in that location. Therefore, the fact that you are seeing this here is not important again. This type that it's saying is very important. What does it mean? It means sir right now. Or remember when I was talking about the auction, I said the result now is different from now, right? Therefore, this thing that people are seeing here sets this topic, and its type of being is not very important. This is a dependency, not a topic that will come up again. In fact, it comes in the background. Not that it searches separately, it checks whether you are visible or not right now, or whether the search location is visible. It matches the campaign location targeting. This is clear. What you are seeing here now, Enila, is being checked with the IP, for example. It checks on the US server itself, but I excluded that location and there is no problem. I will explain to you later how to use it, but for now, I am not dealing with it. But in order to get to this basis, guys, I will come to it through ad group. Here in the discussion of quality score, to see what process to follow, I come to the columns. Guys, these columns that you see here, if you notice, for example, there is no chart, or some of these parameters are missing. Guys, expanding them has a story, and it has an impact on it, so don't be surprised by anything unusual. I click on columns, and go to modify columns. I will fully explain to you how to use the columns correctly. Okay guys, in this section there is a custom column that I will focus on. Here it has a little icon on it. Yes, you can come. And in this way, in different performance sections that it has, for example, look at the quality score itself here. I click on this icon and then quality. I click on the quality score. Pay attention to a point here. This is where the quality score level is defined. The quality score sticks to the keyword. Write this down in your notebook if you haven't memorized it exactly. Therefore, when I want to check the columns and come to check the quality score or look at the keyword level, for example, I look at my ad group. Keywords. Reza, if you change the level right here, go into the campaign and then look at the ad groups of the desired campaign, add the columns you want, once diznan avijelids when modifying. You practically mess things up here when I hit the full scan. I don't see anything by this name. I need to pay attention to this matter. Where I'm looking at its column, I need to go exactly inside my ad group and look at those ad group keywords. So here, I now hit the modify columns, hit search, and hit quality score. Here, I see its parameter. So if you're not at the keyword level, for example, in the ad group or campaign keywords, you won't be able to see anything called quality score. Now we have something called quality score history and one called quality score. Well, look at the right side here, guys. You can remove columns, add columns, and so on. Now, Let's assume I want to add a column for my quality score. You can also rearrange them. I want my quality score and quality score. History now. So what are these two? When you click on them, they get checked. What are these with and without history? Look, there's landing project weeds, experience and landing project experience history, expected CTR, and expected CTR history, add relevancy, and add relevancy history. So, what's the difference between these two? Guys, the practical difference between quality score and quality score history, well, for each of its parameters, now in parentheses, its history is exactly what it's saying. The quality score itself says, sir, the quality score right now, for example, let's assume it's currently February. For instance, I had an Excel sheet that came up and I'll show it to you on my dashboard. Well, I have it in my quality score column, and each of the parameters that don't have a history, for example, expected CTR, landing page experience, and add relevance. I am seeing the score of that parameter right now, meaning today. It doesn't matter what your time range is, but what does the history say? For example, suppose today is February 10th. When you select your time range between February 3rd to 8th, you can no longer see the current quality score, meaning you can't see it now. In this time range, again, you see the current in the quality score column. However, when you select the quality score history column, you are practically seeing the last known quality score or any of the quality score parameters in that time range. What does that mean? It means, sir, the last quality score of this specific word, which I will now show you. In the time range, for example, you see it on that date. I am not concerned with this segment right now. Let me open this segment for you. On February 8th, I see this is 4 out of 10. This is 3 out of 10. Well, 3 out of 10 is now 4 out of 10 was the last quality score in this time range, meaning the quality score I obtained on February 8th was 4. The last quality score that I see in this date range, let's come to the dashboard. I apply this. Guys, when you want to apply, I'll explain here as well. You see here, there is a check mark for save column. If it has save column, I can save it, say quality score, or for example, versus that's QS history. Well, when I save this, the next time I want to come to the column, I already have it here. I can edit it or delete it. I don't have to add or remove columns each time. I already have it here. So if you click on Save Column, this is exactly what happens. I look at this here. Look, guys, I have this Qualtrics score. I selected another range and it's not here now. For example, today is October 12th. And the time range I selected here in the data is from May 25th to May 26th, 2020. What I see here is the current quality score, for example, 5 out of 10. But the last quality score, I remember for this keyword, don't forget the percentage of the keyword quality score I see for this keyword in this time range was 8 out of 10. What does that mean? It means I now understand that my quality score has dropped. Guys, let me tell you something right here. The segment you saw here has dropped. You have something called a segment. What does that mean? It means it breaks down your data. I will explain this further for you later. I just want to, in this short video we have now, talk about a thought process regarding quality score and its parameters. After this, we'll move on, but in the next video, we'll go into it piece by piece. We need to say how we can improve the city. For example, how can we improve our performance and other things? You see here, there's a timeline, but since I've chosen a large time frame, it's currently off. For instance, if I set it to 1 week, and here it has become changed in my mind. When I hit the segment on the timeline, it lights up here. So let's go to point 3 and see what has happened there. Guys, when you hit the segment, it breaks down your data based on what you request from it. That is, based on the segment time that I am seeing, it breaks down your data exactly like what you see here now. Was it a keyboard range or a range? I am writing for the group of such and such a campaign. And I can see my quality score here for this, and it has broken it down. Do you see? It is showing this time range. It has come up to 34444, and now it is sitting on this number again. You see exactly the same thing here as well. Well, I see a point like in this time range, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Here it was 8. Here I see it was 7. It was 7. It was 8. It was 8. It was 8. And so on. Well, so I have one quality score for today and one historical quality score. Now, I just brought up this segment for you to see it and just for you to know it. It's not very important to me. I don't want to delve into it, but the lesson you see in that history, the lesson that the quality score had during that time range, you are seeing the latest one. And if you segment it the curtain or per week, you can see it in the time range sections. It shows you. You can see it in the time range sections. It shows you. You can see it in the time range sections. It shows you. You can see it in the time range sections. It shows you. So that segment was for breaking down my data, which I will talk about the rest of it later, to see what kind of errors, for example, have occurred, or how the timing was. It breaks down my data based on that. So we learned the difference between these two. Just know what I said about the history. I am not concerned with the quality score history right now. What matters to me now is to complete my analysis. So I set my quality score because I want to strategize now. That's why I set my quality score now. And I will set my other parameters. For example, I say, hopefully the internet will cooperate so I can show you. I say right here, I won't hit the history anymore. I say, Mr. Expected, bring the CTs to the landing, exporting and addressing licenses, and I won't check it with the history anymore. And I save it. For example, I say for the quality score, but since I've saved this once before, I won't save it again. You see here you have the quality score, so I won't save it now. What is my thought process? I say, sir, right now my quality score is 18 for the keyword thread glossy. I'm aware that I'm in the thread glossy ad group, right? So I'm looking at its theme. Guys, look at what happens. I see all the parameters here, and I have the average for each of them, which is crucial for understanding the overall performance. One of the hints you can understand right now regarding how to keep your ad group neat and tidy is the average itself. By maintaining a clean and organized ad group, you ensure that your campaigns run smoothly and efficiently. For instance, when you know the average click-through rate, you can make informed decisions about which ads to prioritize. This helps in optimizing your budget and maximizing your return on investment. It doesn't mean that if I see the average is good, I don't need to separate the ad groups anymore. Why? If you remember, I mentioned that if the gap between your search and keywords decreases and becomes tidier, and ultimately if you have a landing page for that specific section, for example, consider that thread. I have a dedicated page for it, a legitimate page for it, and I can choose not to send it to a page that's entirely irrelevant. By irrelevant, I mean not suitable. I can choose not to send it to that page. I can send it to a page that's entirely for the Penguin brand. If you have separated its ad group like this, and I'm saying that all my keywords are in the Penguin section, it's a specific brand. So I say I'll separate this and I'll separate its ad group. Now that I've separated the ad group, I select the keywords I had here. If I cut them from here, I take them to my new ad group. The search terms I want to add, I say I'll add them there. I copy them and take them there to add them, forming a new ad group. The ones centered around the Penguin thread will get a good NC here. Right. But the important point is that I can also get a better landing page experience, and the expectations will probably be better too. Now we have a trick that I'll talk about later, which might be that you say I don't want to split the ad group, and instead I'll make a move at the keyword level. Yes, I know, I'll talk about it later. Just look at this landing page you have here. Don't touch anything, just look. Okay, these final URLs that are here at the keyword level. You see, it might spark an idea in your mind. Guys, your Eurofile at the level of, it would come for your ads. It would be triggered for your ads, not for your keywords. So what is this? I'll talk about it later, that you came and set a keyword at a superficial level in our setup. But normally, when you have an ad group, you don't add the final URL here at the keyword level. Unless in special cases, which I'll discuss. So I said that I had this strategy in mind, that separating the Penguin thread and this on a separate landing page made it better. Why? Because they also put a more specialized landing page for it, since the ad is also specifically written for Penguin. And ultimately, it can improve the CTR as well, which was discussed before. Now, I look here and see that the landing page is good, but I'll also give you a hint about this landing page. The biggest problem I have with cinema is first thinking about this 3D aspect. I had these expectations. So the strategies I want to implement for this ad group and the actions I want to take for these keywords will be aimed at improving the landing page experience and meeting those expectations. Where I usually have the most issues is with the landing page experience, which is generally harder to change. If you make changes, as I mentioned, it doesn't get stuck or blocked. You need to get traffic. The next point is that exactly with words, maybe. A search is performed, a keyword is triggered, an ad is displayed, but imagine the user hasn't clicked yet. Well, guys, up to this point, without the user landing on your site, you can improve your ad relevance and quality score. Even if the user clicks. Before entering the website, the CTR is calculated before that, an impression is made, and a click has occurred. Guys, at this point, the user still hasn't entered the website, meaning they have clicked. Assume up to this point, what is happening here? Guys, up to this moment, what is happening is that you can also improve the CTR, so it has nothing to do with the landing. Some friends, unfortunately, mistakenly say that, sir, your landing page. Go to SEO, work on it to improve it, guys. I haven't even entered the website here yet. So without touching my landing page, I can improve the experience, CTR hour, and other metrics. Therefore, guys, this is a common misconception among many friends in the Google discussion space, and it's wrong. It has nothing to do with this topic. So you can increase your experience and conversion rate, even if you don't make any changes to the landing page. It doesn't have anything to do with the website, so these two capabilities can be improved. The kids mention parameters. Quality score parameters are categorized as below average, average, and above average. When I know this, I'll tell you right here, if your expected CTR is above average, your ad relevance is above average, and your landing page experience is below average, you'll get a 7 out of 10. So the least expectation you can have from yourself after this course is that you should at least achieve a 7 out of 10. Guys, remember that increasing from 7 to 10 means a 50% increase in quality score, and with this, you can reduce your costs. What happens is that Google says, this quality is very good. Don't take a score of 10 lightly, guys. We want to make every effort to make this happen. Don't take 8 lightly. Half of 10 is 7. The higher your quality score, the more value Google actually sees. Even with a lower bid. Why? Because it says, this is completely relevant, it has everything I want, and it aligns exactly with the good experience I'm trying to create for users in Google search results. So guys, I will focus on improving quality, and the strategy I will choose will be based on this, that I identify where the most significant issue lies and change it. Because if you change that, suddenly you'll see that all the keywords can significantly increase their quality score, and you will see the changes. I also won't forget that the degree doesn't happen, guys. So far in this video, I've been discussing the topic of quality score. I talked about quality score history, which is actually the first part of optimization and the thought process you need to follow when approaching quality score as optimization. In the next video, guys, we'll delve into how each of these parameters can seriously improve.